Thank you. All right, let me continue what I was saying earlier on in the morning. I was talking about the doctrine of rest. All right, to say again that rest is God's creation. God created it, right? And and we must have it in our schedule. Otherwise, rest itself will force itself into our schedule. If we don't put rest in our schedule, rest will force itself into our schedule because we'll break down, right? If we don't have rest, you'll break down. And yet, God tells us in Hebrews that they yet remaineth a rest for the people of God. They did not enter into rest because they did not mix the word they've heard with faith. God wants us to enter into the place of rest. The place of rest is not when we get to heaven. The place of rest is while here, right? So when you talk about rest, you talk about rest in two dimensions. In one dimension, you're talking about getting to the flow, getting to a place where you are doing things easy, right? In personal development, what we call it being in the zone. In my professional line, where we look for oil, there's a place in the oil reservoir we call the sweet spot, the best place to maximally extort the oil in the reservoir. It's called a sweet spot, right? God wants to, there's a place of rest that is just a place of living, where things just work for you, right? Everything is answering to you, right? Everybody you meet is meeting your demand. Everywhere you go, things are just falling into place. It's called rest itself. There's also rest where you need to rest your physical body, right? Because God has built our body in such a way that it needs to be rejuvenated. It needs to be rejuvenated, right? One of the ways to rejuvenate it is by doing exercise. Because when you do exercise, your bone marrow recreates new blood. The old blood goes round your body and does a cleansing work, takes away all the toxin in your body. If that blood doesn't move around, toxin will just be stored in several parts of your body, which will result into several kind of sickness. But when your blood is moving around, your blood goes and does a cleansing work. It cleanses your body because it goes everywhere it goes, it's taking toxin, right? It's being, the new blood adds oxygen inside. That oxygen also goes to several parts. Every part of your body needs oxygen, especially your head, your brain. If you don't have enough oxygen in your brain, you will just become a vegetable, right? So there's a minimum time that your brain needs oxygen. If it doesn't get that oxygen for a period of time, you will just become vegetable. You might still be alive, because your heart, your life is dependent on your blood, on your heart. If your heart is still pumping blood, you'll still be alive, right? That's why you have put people on coma and all of that. But if that brain doesn't get oxygen for a certain a certain time interval, it will go vegetable, it will go useless, right? So all of this is ordained by God, and we cannot fight against it. There's no spiritual against it, right? Because God created it. You cannot fight against it. It's one of the part of the boundaries that God has set. So you need to respect it. If you don't respect it, you'll be sorry for it, right? Again, going to Isaiah 28:16. God has set things in boundaries, right? He has set things in boundaries. He has given us Jesus Christ as a rock. We need to respect the truth. The truth is, there is a place of rest where everything answers to you. And that's the basis of Hebrews when it talks about the rest minute rest. You get to a place of rest where life just answers to you. Things are smooth. Things just go